Hello everyone. The universal force of attraction attracting between all matter is gravitation. On earth, all bodies have a weight or downward force of gravity. So today, let us discuss something more related to this in our lesson gravitation. Gravitation is the force of attraction between two objects in the universe. Gravitation may be the attraction of objects by the earth. Example, if a body is dropped from a certain height, it falls downwards due to Earth's gravity. If a body is thrown upwards, it reaches a certain height and then falls downwards due to the Earth's gravity. Gravitation may be the attraction between objects in outer space. Example, attraction between the Earth and Moon, attraction between the Sun and planets. Centripetal force. When a body moves in a circular path, it changes its direction at every point. The force which keeps the body in the circular path acts towards the center of the circle. This force is called centripetal force. If there is no centripetal force, the body will move in a straight line tangent to the circular path. Universal law of gravitation. The universal law of gravitation states that every object in the universe attracts every other object with the force which is directly proportional to product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Let two objects A and B of masses m and small m lie at a distance of t from each other. Let F be the force of attraction between them. According to the universal law of gravitation, the force between the objects is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Observe the following equations. So finally we get F multiplied by d square is equal to g, that is the constant of proportionality called universal gravitation constant, into capital M multiplied by small m, or G is equal to F multiplied by d square upon capital M multiplied by small m. The SI unit of G is Newton per meter square per kg square, and its value is 6.673 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 11 Newton per meter square per kg square. Free fall. The earth attracts objects towards it due to the gravitational force. When an object falls towards the earth due to the earth's gravitational force, it is called free fall. When an object falls towards the earth, there is a change in its acceleration due to the gravitational force of the earth. So this acceleration is called acceleration due to gravity. The acceleration due to gravity is denoted by small g. The unit of g is same as the unit of acceleration meter per second square. From the second law of motion, force is the product of mass and acceleration. For free fall, force is the product of mass and acceleration due to gravity. So we have the following equations, where capital M is the mass of the earth and small d is the distance between the object and the earth. For objects near or on the surface of the earth, d is equal to the radius of the earth r. So m multiplied by a is equal to g into capital M multiplied by small m, or a is equal to g multiplied by m. The value of a is 9.8 meter per second square. Mass. The mass of a body is the measure of its inertia. If the mass of a body is more, its inertia is more. The mass of a body is constant and does not change from place to place. The SI unit of mass is kg. Weight. The weight of a body is the force with which the earth attracts the body. The force with which a body is attracted by the earth depends on its mass m and acceleration due to gravity g. F is equal to m multiplied by g. Since weight of a body is the force with which the earth attracts the body, W is equal to m multiplied by g. Since g at a place is constant, W is proportional to m. The weight of a body changes from place to place. The SI unit of weight is the same as force, that is Newton. Weight of an object on the moon. The weight of an object on the earth is the force with which the earth attracts the object, and the weight of an object on the moon is the force with which the moon attracts the object. The mass of the moon is less than the mass of the earth, so the moon exerts lesser force on the objects than the earth. The weight of an object on the moon is 1/6 of its weight on the earth. Thrust and pressure. Thrust. Thrust is the force acting on an object perpendicular to the surface. Example, when you stand on loose sand, the force of your body is acting on an area equal to the area of your feet. When you lie down, the same force acts on an area equal to the contact area of the whole body. In both cases, the force acting on the sand is the same. Pressure. Pressure is the force acting on unit area of a surface. Pressure is equal to thrust upon area. Example, the effect of thrust on loose sand is larger while standing than while lying down. The SI unit of thrust is Newton per meter square. It is called Pascal. Pressure in fluids, that is liquids and gases. Fluids exert pressure on the base and walls of the container. Fluids exert pressure in all directions. Pressure exerted on fluids is transmitted equally in all directions. Buoyancy or upthrust. When an object is immersed in a fluid, it experiences an upward force called buoyant force. This property is called buoyancy or upthrust. The force of gravity pulls the object downward and the buoyant force pushes it upwards. The magnitude of the buoyant force depends upon the density of the fluid. Why objects float or sink in water? If the density of an object is less than the density of a liquid, it will float on the liquid. And if the density of an object is more than the density of a liquid, it will sink in the liquid. Activity. Take some water in a beaker. Take a piece of cork and an iron nail of the same mass. Place them on the water. The cork floats and the nail sinks. The cork floats because the density of cork is less than the density of water, and the upthrust of water is more than the weight of the cork. The nail sinks because the density of the iron nail is more than the density of water, and the upthrust of water is less than the weight of the nail. Archimedes' principle. Archimedes' principle states that when a body is partially or fully immersed in a fluid, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. Archimedes' principle has many uses. It is used in designing ships and submarines. Hydrometers used to determine the density of liquids. Lactometers used to determine purity of milk, etc. Density and relative density. Density. The density of a substance is the mass of a unit volume of the substance. Density is equal to mass upon volume. The unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. Relative density. The relative density of a substance is the ratio of the density of a substance to the density of water. So relative density is equal to density of a substance upon density of water. Since relative density is a ratio of similar quantities, it has no unit. So this was all about our lesson gravitation. The gravitational force is very important to keep the universe functioning. The planets revolve around the sun because of the force of gravity. Galaxies exist also due to gravity. There are so many things that are bound to gravity, so learning about it is very important. Thank you, students.